Have you ever been judged before anyone even gave you a chance to speak? Imagine walking into a beautiful hotel with your tired little daughter after a long day, only to be told there are no rooms for people like you. Now imagine that the hotel actually belongs to you. Stay with me, because this story is not just about wealth or power. It is about respect, kindness, and the life-changing lesson that every person deserves to be treated with dignity. What happened that night shocked everyone who witnessed it, and the ending reminded an entire community that kindness will always be remembered longer than cruelty. Before we begin, please take a second to subscribe to Spread Kindness, like this video, and leave a comment telling us where you're watching from. Your support helps us share more inspiring stories that remind the world kindness still matters. Marcus Johnson was a hardworking black single father raising his 8-year-old daughter, Lily. Years earlier, he had started with nothing but determination and a dream. He worked every job he could find, saved every dollar, and slowly built a successful hospitality business. Eventually, he became the quiet owner of one of the finest hotels in Chicago. Most people never recognized him because Marcus rarely wore expensive suits or showed off his success. He believed a person's character mattered more than their appearance. Whenever he visited one of his hotels, he dressed simply so he could experience the service the same way every guest did. One rainy Friday evening, Marcus picked Lily up after her school concert. The weather became so bad that driving home was unsafe. His hotel was only a few blocks away, so he smiled and said, "Let's stay here tonight. It'll be a little adventure." Lily laughed as they ran through the rain, holding hands. They entered the elegant lobby with wet jackets and tired smiles. The young receptionist looked at them for only a second before her friendly expression disappeared. "I'm sorry," she said coldly. "We're fully booked." Marcus noticed several guests checking in behind them. "Are you sure?" he asked politely. "It looks like rooms are still available." The receptionist rolled her eyes. "Those rooms are reserved for paying guests." Marcus remained calm. "I am a paying guest." Before she could answer, the hotel manager walked over. "Is there a problem?" he asked. The receptionist pointed toward Marcus and Lily. "They're insisting on getting a room." The manager barely looked at Marcus. "We have standards here," he said. "I suggest you try one of the cheaper motels across town." Lily quietly squeezed her father's hand. "Dad, did we do something wrong?" Marcus knelt beside her. "No, sweetheart. We did absolutely nothing wrong." His heart broke because he knew exactly why they were being treated this way. It wasn't their clothes. It wasn't because the hotel was full. It was because people had judged them before learning who they were. Instead of becoming angry, Marcus simply asked one final question. "So you're refusing to rent me a room?" "That's correct," the manager answered confidently. Marcus nodded. "Thank you." He calmly pulled out his phone and made one short call. Within 15 minutes, several black SUVs stopped outside the hotel. The regional director hurried through the front doors, followed by members of the corporate leadership team. Every employee suddenly became nervous. The director walked straight toward Marcus. "Mr. Johnson," he said respectfully. "I'm deeply sorry we're late." The receptionist's face turned white. The manager looked completely confused. "You know him?" The director stared at him in disbelief. "Know him? He's the owner of this hotel." Silence filled the lobby. Guests stopped talking. Employees froze. The manager's confidence disappeared instantly. Marcus slowly stood beside his daughter. "I didn't come here to test anyone," he said quietly. "I came because my little girl needed a safe place to sleep." Lily looked up at her father with proud eyes. Marcus continued. "But tonight, my daughter learned that some people decide who deserves kindness before they even know their name." The manager began apologizing. "Sir, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize." Marcus gently interrupted him. That's exactly the problem. If you believed I was an ordinary guest, then this is how you intended to treat me. The regional director lowered his head in disappointment. Marcus turned toward every employee gathered in the lobby. Our hotel promises every guest respect, dignity, and kindness. Those aren't words printed in a handbook. They're values we live every day. He looked directly at the receptionist and the manager. You failed that promise. Both employees were immediately dismissed from their positions, along with several supervisors who had ignored repeated complaints about discrimination from past guests. Marcus made the decision with sadness, not anger. He knew kindness never meant accepting injustice. The following morning, Marcus invited every remaining employee to a meeting. Instead of giving a lecture, he shared his own story. He spoke about growing up in a neighborhood where people often assumed the worst because of the color of his skin. He remembered sleeping in his old car while working 2 jobs. He remembered being refused service at restaurants. He remembered promising himself that if he ever owned a hotel, every guest would feel welcome. Many employees wiped away tears as they listened. One young housekeeper stood up. My parents came to America with nothing, she said. People judged them too. Thank you for reminding us why kindness matters. Marcus smiled warmly. Every guest carries a story you cannot see. A few weeks later, the hotel introduced a new training program centered on compassion, fairness, and respect. Employees learned that true hospitality begins long before a room key is handed over. It begins with a smile, eye contact, and treating every person like they matter. Word about Marcus's actions spread across the city. People didn't admire him because he fired employees. They admired him because he stood up for what was right while remaining calm and respectful. Reservations increased. Families from every background chose the hotel because they trusted its values. Months later, Marcus and Lily visited again. This time, a new receptionist greeted them with a genuine smile. Welcome. We're so happy you're here. Lily smiled back. Thank you. As they walked toward the elevator, Lily looked at her father. Dad, are people always going to judge others? Marcus gently held her hand. Some will. But you know what? She looked up. We get to choose whether we become one of those people, or one of the people who make others feel welcome. Lily nodded. I want to be the second one. Marcus smiled. I know you will. That night, they looked out over the city lights from their hotel window. Marcus realized that buildings, money, and success were never his greatest achievements. His greatest success was raising a daughter who understood that kindness is stronger than prejudice and respect is something every human being deserves. Sometimes the richest person in the room is not the one with the most money. It is the one with the biggest heart. Never judge someone by their appearance, their clothes, or the color of their skin. Every person you meet is fighting battles you cannot see, and one act of kindness can change someone's life forever. If this story touched your heart, remember to like this video, subscribe to Spread Kindness, and share it with someone who believes kindness still has the power to change the world. Until next time, keep choosing compassion, keep standing for what's right, and never stop spreading kindness.